There is an issue, is whether the democratic West is more aggressive to us, more aggressive to India as a democracy, when compared to its role or attitude towards China in its growing days. We are quite a few years or decades behind China. So we are growing. China has grown between 1978 and 2008 at a very high speed. So their attitude then and today with India, whether that is I'm just drawing your attention to a couple of things during this election season. One is some Israeli firm is trying to interfere in Indian election using OpenAI platform. Then US, Australia, and Canada are raising issues about India's spy agencies. These all were happening over the last couple of months. Sustained pro-Khalistan activities in Canada. So how do you look at these things in view of as you said, that our growth, India has to grow, India has to maintain its momentum. So how do you look at these things?
Well, number one is in our growth story, we will have partnerships and we will have roadblocks. Roadblocks will mostly come from those countries because some in the United States also feel that what they have idealistic approach they had towards China, which enabled China to be so big that today it is challenging them. It should not happen with India. Some in the West have that kind of an approach. In a democracy, it is much more easier to criticize. And it is easier to influence through the gray zone warfare, and what the examples you gave were exactly part of that toolkit. Talking about your human rights, your democracy deficit, your freedom for this, for that. Those are the issues that keep coming in. I have a different solution for that. But as far as the economic growth of India is concerned, today, the Western countries especially have to look at India as the voice of the global South, number one. An economy that is bound to become number 2 or number 3 very soon, not 20, 30 years is not a very long time. The country which has the largest democracy, which has shown to the world that democracy delivers. So that is very much there. Now, in this case, one thing that they don't seem to like, in my view, is a strong leadership. And that we have seen in the past from our independence down to today, that the countries in the West somehow are not able to accept the fact that India can have its own foreign policy, can also talk strongly and can take views independently, irrespective of their centric concerns. So I think that this is something, that's why they come up with these kind of situations and trying to weaken the system. It becomes far more available to the common people because we are a democracy. So these gets reported. And this last 6-7 years before the elections, precisely that kind of a game plan played out from the Western countries. As far as the question of the Nizars and Pannuns and all those Khalistani separatists is concerned, I always say that they are essentially hypocrites. Hypocrites in the sense and double standards. They believe in my terrorist versus your terrorist. If it is my terrorist, he can do no wrong. If it's your terrorist, we will go to Afghanistan and destroy the whole country. We will go to Iraq and regime change. We will change the people. So we can do that because we are the most powerful country in the world. On the other hand, a country like India, where it is even though we have not done it, but at the same time, what you are trying to do is under the garb of that citizenship, which was also in a way illegally obtained, you are now trying to show to the world that, okay, you have no right to eliminate them, instead of saying that we will eliminate them or we will do something about that. They don't do that. They will tell you, oh, we want to fight. I mean, you are aware that until 9/11 happened, they never cared about terrorism coming from Pakistan into India all through.
Never.
It is only after 9/11 that it was talked about.
Historically, probably India is the worst sufferer of terrorism for 2 long decades.
Like 40, 50 years now.
Yeah.
And they don't care. Even now they play games. It's not there. So when you do these kind of things, I mean, see, if they're Khalistani separatists, they are there. Give them a land, make the country there for themselves. If you are so happy about it. give California to the Sikhs. They can make their own Khalistan there. Or Canada can give its own areas, but they have a lot of land. I create these kind of people, and because see, this is not only India. I was ambassador to Libya. All the people there who they brought back eventually after dislodging Gaddafi were all given as the patronage by CIA and others. So it is a well-known fact. So the regime change is very much a part of the agenda. So when a particular regime or a leader doesn't serve their purpose, you create all kinds of things to do that. So I think that we will have to prepare for it. What I'm trying to say is that this is a reality which will continue to play out again and again, over and over again. So in order to go forward and move forward at the pace that India wants to be, we'll have to make our own toolkits, our own strategies, and especially the communication strategy.